Swiss-made GMT with 300 meters of water resistance. You're getting this all in a package under 12 millimeters thick. That's really the most important spec about this watch. It's called the Hudson. It's from Maen Watches. I've actually featured their watches here on my channel before. Overall, I'm very impressed with their quality. So let's flip the camera and take a look at the Hudson GMT. So last year during the Wind-Up Watch Fair here in New York, there were tons of amazing watches to check out. One of the brands that really impressed me that I got to see at that fair was Maen. They had 3 watches on display. They had a dive watch, a GMT, and a dress watch. All 3 of them were really very nice. Today I have the GMT to show you. I actually featured their dive watch here as well. That was a 300 meter dive watch. This watch also gets 300 meters and it's under 12 millimeters thick. We'll do measurements in just a few minutes, but I think that measurement is very important. This is a Swiss-made GMT. It is powered by a Soprod C125. If you're not familiar with that movement, it's essentially the same as a Sellita SW330 and an ETA 2893. Not in design, but in functionality. So they are different designs. However, functionality-wise, they work exactly the same. So that means that this is a caller or office GMT. Unscrew the crown and pop it into the first position. And if you move the crown down, you change the date. Moving the crown up, you change the GMT time. Very, very simple and very useful. This has a screwed-in crown and screwed-in case back, of course, because you do get 300 meters of water resistance in a pretty thin automatic Swiss-made GMT. Very impressive. Now you do get a unidirectional bezel on here. Some really good action and very good sound. And you get a bi-colored bezel. So the bezel here is black and sort of a copper brown color with gold tone indices on that bezel. That carries over into the chapter ring, which is another 24-hour track, and you have a minute track on there. The 24 hours are in that same gold tone. So pretty cool that they did that. I like how they carry the color into the dial that way. Then you have painted on indices. Those are lumed, and of course you have X1 Super Luminova. The hand stack here is great. You have that yellowish orange arrow for the GMT. You have a lollipop second hand which has Lume in it. I believe the GMT hand also has Lume in it. And then you have these hour and minute hands that sort of look like they came off of the Empire State Building. Again, those are lumed. I love the hour and minute hand on this watch. I love them on the diver that I featured. Really well done. And then you have a sand texture to the dial. Maen right there. It says automatic, Hudson and GMT. So this is a Hudson line. That's why it says that. And then right at the bottom of the dial, of course, you have the date. And that date is sort of a balance to that index at 12 o'clock. We have sort of beaver teeth at the 12 o'clock to give you a little bit of orientation in the dark. Now this is a 38 millimeter dive watch or diver GMT, so it's 37.8 millimeters depending on where you grab it. It's just about that. You have 46 millimeters at the lugs, and you do get female end links which are milled, so it's basically 43 spot on. And then you have a very large crown of 6.9 millimeters. As I mentioned, a really thin 11.6 millimeters, which is great. You do get a boxed dome sapphire crystal with AR coating. So very impressive. Really beautiful bracelet on here. You do get screwed links, which is really nice. I have to say this type of bracelet has really been warming up to me. It's an H-style bracelet, and then you have the middle link, which has sort of a line of polish on the outer edge. I like it. I think it's really good looking, and I've been sort of warming up to it. And like I said, you do get a female end links, and it is milled. The only thing I would say is that the buckle is sort of a letdown at this price point. They are charging $875 for this. It is an automatic GMT and it is Swiss made, but I think this should get an upgraded buckle with some on-the-fly micro adjust. You'd have 4 positions of micro adjust, but it's manual. I think they should put something with a sort of on-the-fly micro adjust in addition to or in lieu of manual micro adjust. At this point, at that price, I think they should be doing that. It is on the pricier side when considered the GMT market these days, and especially since it's not a true GMT or a traveler's GMT, whatever you want to call it. So 875 is on the higher end, but it's not out of the ballpark for a Swiss-made automatic GMT with 300 meters of water resistance that's under 12 millimeters thick. That's hard to do, and I would imagine very expensive to do, so that's why they are charging what they are charging. They kept it thin, and that is not easy. So look at other 300 meter dive watches that are not GMTs, and usually they are over 13 millimeters thick. Anyway, very quickly, I'm going to throw it on my wrist, and I'll show you what I have on my wrist, and then we will do a quick Lume shot. Today I have a brand new watch to me, and a really great story behind it. It is a vintage 50 fathoms Aqualung. I am blown away that I even own this watch, and I will tell you the entire story in a video at a later date. However, this is from the 1950s. It is in really good condition, and just a gorgeous watch. I'm super excited about it. So here it is on my 7.5 inch wrist. It's basically sized for my 7.5 inch wrist. And you can see it's a 38 millimeter watch, and it wears like a 38 millimeter watch, but this is what you should be really paying attention to, how thin and how close that wears to the wrist. This will be a very comfortable 300 meter dive watch. That's pretty impressive. The thinness on this is very impressive. Anyway, there you go. 7.5 inch wrist, 38 millimeter watch, 46 millimeter lug to lug, and under 12 millimeters thick. 11.6 millimeters thick is what I measured. So very quickly, Lume shot, and then we'll wrap up the video. Well, there you go. Lume is pretty good on here. You have a pretty decent amount of lume applied to those indices and hands. All of the hands are lumed, including the GMT hand and second hand. So not bad. I think my only complaints about this watch is, of course, the buckle. I wish there was some micro adjust on the fly micro adjust in there. And then, of course, the price is a little bit high considering that it's at almost $900. If it was a little bit lower, that would be great. However, I still think it's in the ballpark, as I mentioned, for a Swiss-made automatic GMT with 300 meters of water resistance that's under 12 millimeters thick. That's the most important measurement on this watch. Tell me what you guys think down in the comments below. Am I wrong there? I would like to hear from you guys. Please tell me in the comments down below. Please also don't forget to like and subscribe, hit that bell icon. It is super helpful for the channel, and I very much appreciate it. Please follow me on Instagram. My Instagram is WatchChrisBlog, all one word. I have some links in the description. Those links are to Amazon. If you click those links and buy anything, it helps support the channel. It doesn't cost you anything extra. However, I very much appreciate it. Anyway, thank you for logging on. I'll catch you guys in the next video.